To a roaring crowd, presidential hopeful Kamala Harris takes the stage on the first day of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Not expected until the convention's closing, her appearance now a surprise, to pay tribute to President Joe Biden and thank him for his leadership, before speaking directly to voters.
This November, we will come together and declare with one voice, as one people, we are moving forward. With optimism, hope, and faith.
Vice President Kamala Harris and running mate Minnesota Governor Tim Walz are riding a wave of voter enthusiasm into the DNC that has transformed the race against former President Donald Trump. Just 3 months out from the election, the new pair of Democratic hopefuls were put forward when President Joe Biden ended his re-election bid, after a growing number of Democrats questioned his ability to lead for another 4 years. Since the baton was passed to Harris, she's seen a sharp rise in support, polling 49% nationally among registered voters, over Donald Trump's 45%. Speakers here today took aim at Trump and celebrated Biden's leadership over the past 4 years. Then the man in command took the stage himself, recounting the accomplishments of his administration, noting Harris's role.
Are you ready to vote for freedom? Are you ready to vote for democracy and for America? Are you ready to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, President and Vice President of the United States? I stand before you now on this August night to report that democracy has prevailed, democracy has delivered, and now democracy must be preserved.
More than 4,000 delegates will gather in Chicago over the 4-day convention, as politicians, celebrities and supporters champion Harris's bid for the White House and officially nominate her for president. The Democratic Party unveiled their platform in July when Biden was still running for president, proposing a raised minimum wage, more affordable childcare, lower healthcare costs, clean energy projects, increasing women's reproductive rights, and bans on assault weapons. The platform also mentions support for a negotiated two-state solution between Israel and Palestine amid the war raging in Gaza. It's a major issue striking a chord with voters, with many taking to the streets outside the conference to demand Harris end American support for Israel.
I think it's important for them to realize that they can't take our votes for granted. The Democratic National Committee needs to be opposed to genocide, it needs to be pro-justice, it needs to take active steps to create a more just and equitable society. Words aren't enough, actions are what we need to see.
At least 4 protesters were arrested outside the venue after breaking through a security fence. Many demonstrators claiming the Democratic Party could lose their vote if they don't act to end the war. Votes that will be crucial in sustaining support for Harris, with Democrats and Republicans neck and neck in the race to the White House. Dolphine, Chen and Rosie Grenenger for TaiwanPlus.